a nuclear bomb in the upper atmosphere to create an EMP, and it blacked out radio transmissions across Hawaii for days, for a couple of days. And this was about, I believe it was 5 kilovolts per meter. They tested cars up to 30 kilovolts per meter, much higher than most geomagnetic storms. And they found that most cars had no effect at all. The wiring is so short in a car that it didn't really burn anything out. Now, some cars, about 20...
Let me ask you a question, Daniel. This
Sure.
This is before cars had computers in them, okay? So
they were cars with computers in them, and some of them with dashboard electronics like GPS and navigation systems.
Okay.
And they found that sometimes some of the cars had malfunctions in the dashboard electronics, but in all but I think one case, when they shut the car off and restarted it, it rebooted the electronics and there was very little in the way of lasting damage. No cars were shut down while running because they tried this test with the cars off and the cars on. With the cars off, they didn't find any damage in any of them. With the cars on, some of the cars had glitches, like lights would blink or check engine light would come on. The GPS wouldn't work, but they turned the car off and on again. In all but one case from all the cars they tested, they had no permanent damage. They had some nuisance damage where they might have to replace, a relay or something else like that. But in no case did they have a system where the car was stopped. You see this like movies like The Day After, where all the cars come to a grinding halt on the freeway because the nuclear blast has gone off. Not happening, y'all. Not happening. The cars were not stopped dead in their tracks. None of them were stopped dead. And so this gives me hope that maybe civilization can survive the next tsunami. The other thing is that basically since the 1950s, the military has worked at hardening their electronics, and because of interference with ever more powerful LiDAR, radar, and wireless communications, most auto manufacturers harden the electronics in their cars just because we use so much. We have cell phones and everything, friends. We use so much more radio frequency energy now than we ever did 20 or 30 years ago that your car is probably going to survive the next solar storm, which is good news. The other fun thing in the news this week, Scott, it has to do with NASA and the InSight probe. The InSight probe is a lander that touched down, and they put probes in the soil to measure seismic activity. And the InSight probe measured the 2 largest quakes on Mars to date, 4.1 and 4.2 on the Richter scale.
Wow. You can feel those.
What's neat is, those of us, Scott and I, have spent a significant amount of time in California. You can feel a 4-point earthquake. You know, you bounce for, and
it's not horrible, but you can feel it. Yeah.
One of these earthquakes went on for over 90 minutes. It just kept vibrating.
90 minutes. That might create some damage.
It's crazy. If you're a Californian or if you're in an earthquake-prone area, you know 30 seconds on Earth is a horribly long earthquake.
Yes. So 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's going to damage buildings or underground facilities.
Underground structures, yes.
Whatever. We're going to have to reinforce those things when we get there. So okay, so you had a 30-minute long earthquake. What's the longest earthquake they would have, right? So you don't know. Is it an hour? Is it 2 hours? All day?
I don't know. I was stunned by this. I experienced 3 earthquakes over 7.0. The Hector Mines earthquake, the Whittier earthquake, and the Upland quake. I was right within 2 miles of the epicenter of Upland, which was horrible. Not a recommended ride for the theme park friends.
Right.
And 4.0, 4.1, 4.2, you can feel these. You can feel these.
Sure.
And I don't know how long earthquake detectors could detect the vibration on Earth. I really do not know. And but these quakes went on for quite a long time on Mars. These were located in the Valles Marineris